the DeFi ecosystem is evolving because, even before what just happened with the banks, there was a push to create more on and off ramps that were easier for people to go from between banks, like not even have to go to a bank, like literally put your money straight onto these blockchains. It's expensive right now because again, when it's early, it's expensive. But again, it's going to get cheaper. It's going to get easier everywhere in the world. And it will happen. Actually, Coinbase just said it. They say, you know what? America is making it difficult for us to push this innovation. We're going to go to other countries. If America doesn't want to be the leader, doesn't have to be the leader, we're going to take it to other countries. Though they created Coinbase Global, and they're going to start going to other countries and try to make it so you can bring your money straight onto the blockchain without having to worry about, laws and stuff like that. Because again, who's making sure that these laws don't come to pass? The banks. They're the ones lobbying to the powers that be to not allow crypto to flourish because crypto is literally coming for their business. So of course they want to make you scared of it and make sure that it's not possible for most people to do it. I live in New York. In New York, they've pretty much blocked us from doing most of the things that people can do in other parts of this country with crypto, right? But luckily, I have multiple addresses that I could use, and that's why I was even able to learn a lot of this because I wasn't locked into the New York laws. I was able to do things that people in New York couldn't do, even though I stay here. And that's really how I even came up with the retire bill strategy because I was able to see things people in New York couldn't even see, which is crazy if you think about it. The most richest places in the world, rich place in the world, America, New York is like number one city, most money, and we can't do things that other people can do with money. But of course, it's because the people with the most money don't want us to be able to do it because then it affects their money, right? So it is what it is. But no matter what, it can't be stopped. It's just a matter of time. All right. So, what are potential risks and challenges associated with adopting DeFi over traditional banks? All right. So this is a big deal. The truth is, it's so new that we can't see the possible problems yet. I can tell you some of them that I have envisioned that if they happen, they would scare a lot of people. One, these big decentralized open source platforms get hacked. The reason why I think that won't happen though is again, people around the world, the smartest developers around the world want to create an open source way for money to move between anybody around the world. Yes, a hacker could come in, but unless that hacker is so much smarter than all other developers that don't want this to fail, that's the battle. And I'm betting on the people that want it to succeed. Yes, there could be one person that gets in there and does some shake some stuff up, but overall, over time, I can't see it. If you wherever you're watching this, if you're watching this or hearing this on a phone, on a computer, you're running open source software and you don't even know it. All phones, all computers are running on open source software. These things have been being built for 30, 40 years. Now, we just created in the last 4 or 5 years the first open source money software. Bitcoin was the start of it, so I'll even give it more 10, 15-ish years. First open source money software has been created. Right now, every computer, every server, almost every technology is run on open source software. And we just got the first open source money software. It's a matter of time before it's perfect and people can use it. We can build all kind of stuff on top of it. I'm building my platform on top of it. Just like Apple is built on top of open source software, Microsoft is built on open source software. Um, Everything is built on open source software. So yes, there are risks right now that there could be hackers, or the fact that humans don't have the knowledge enough to protect themselves yet. Right? They can easily be hacked. It's called social engineered, meaning It's not like they're hacking into the system and breaking the open source software. They're hacking into you. So one of the big things I've saw is people have been getting like fake PDFs. So you get an email and it's a fake PDF. It looks like it comes from like Amazon or something that you recognize, but the email is different. It's not Amazon. So when you click that PDF, you're basically giving access to your computer and your files to some hacker. And then they're waiting for you to put your C phrase on your computer, or they're finding it if you do store it on MetaMask instead of having a ledger. They find access to your server, to your C phrase, then they go in. But again, that wasn't the decentralized platform, that wasn't the blockchain that got hacked. They hacked you on an individual level. And yes, it's a problem, but again, it's your fault, kind of, right? Again, you got to educate yourself on these things. And that's why I create this content, because I'm educating myself. And when I educate myself, I'm like, I know a lot of people don't know this. Let me create some type of content to make sure they know this. So the truth is, when you are hacked, most likely right now, it was in crypto, it's most likely because you did something. In the traditional finance world, they're hacking the databases of these banks, they're hacking the accounts. That has nothing to do with you. That's on the bank level. They are messing up the same way I'm talking about. So again, when you create your own decentralized finance, your own bank, you are in need of protecting your own assets. When you put it in a regular traditional bank, you're expecting them to. They have a bunch of things in place and they're not good enough either, but they do have insurances, and you can get insurances on the traditional finance side too. Again, it's what level of risk you're taking and what you want to pay for. You can pay for insurance on crypto. You're just going to be paying. You can pay a percentage, 3%, 5% on the money you put in there, and they'll give you insurance. You lose it, they'll give you your money back. But again, do you want to do that? It's up to you. What I teach people is, they'll tell you, this is a big phrase that I hate when they say it, but I'm changing it. They say only invest what you're willing to lose. And what I say is, only invest what you were going to use, right? So if you're going to pay a bill, invest a little bit more than that bill, pay the bill, and then invest the full amount of the money, right? So like again, if I had $1,000 bill and I could bring in $1,400 into my bank, bring in the $1,400, I borrow the 1,000, pay the bill. Now I can invest almost all that $1,400. So yes, all right, I'm investing 400 more dollars, but this comes back to what I was saying before. I'm not worried about losing the 400 because I know I'm investing 1,400. So that 1,400 over years and years and years could turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially, right? So if Bitcoin went to $1,000,000 from where it is right now, what does that number look like? I'm not worried about losing the 400. I'm looking at gaining the 1,400, compounding over decades. And that is a very big deal that wasn't possible till a year and a half, 2 years ago. So take advantage. How does regulatory environment impact traditional finance and decentralized finance? This is where we're at right now, where we don't know. This is where it seems like the government is going after crypto hard. Like they're looking to shut down the on and off ramps, and potentially they could say decentralized finance is illegal in America. They can't stop it everywhere in the world though. And yes, they could block us from sending money to these platforms. They could, but that doesn't mean you can't create a bank account in another place and do it from another country. There's countries like Estonia, Malta, um, El Salvador, Bahamas. Yeah, I mean, it would suck, but it's possible. It's definitely going to be possible. There's no way any country could really stop it. If every single country said this is illegal, they still can't stop it. That's how that because it's code on the blockchain. Yes, it will become difficult to take the money out of that system, and that could be a way that they do stop it. But I can't see every single country in the world doing that. I could be wrong. Until then, head over to retireyourbills.com, take the free training, learn about everything I just spoke about, try it with $5, $50, $100, however much you feel comfortable doing. I've had people that started out with $10 that now are on to $15,000 a month. Imagine being able to invest $15,000 a month on bills that you are going to pay anyway. That is kind of crazy, right? And again, it sounds unbelievable, but again, it's 1000% possible. I do it every day. I have people doing it every day, and I just created a software to do it automatically. It's possible. I hope you take me up on learning how to do it, either through watching my content, because of course I'll be creating more and more content. There's videos everywhere of me showing you how to do this step by step. If you join my email list at miguelsanchez.world, I even put it in email in sections so you can see one, step two, step three. If you join the class, retireyourbills.com, I help individually. We help people set up their banks. And then if you just want somebody to do it for you, a robot, join the Stack waitlist at stackit.ai. Hopefully, you guys are not just watching this situation and letting it happen, and then basically after it happens, say, you know what, I'm going to do this now. Because the truth is, right now, we are proving that crypto is the future. If you think about what's happening with other banks, you really look at what's going on, it's just reinforcing the reason crypto was created in the first place. We have our money in a system that's not built for us. And when I say us, I mean the 99%. If you make a certain amount of money, you're considered the 1%. But most people on the planet do not make that amount of money because 1%, right? You need to be making almost $1 million a year to be considered 1%. Most people, I don't care what level you are, think they're richer than they really are. If you're one bad medical situation away from being poor, you are not 1%. You are as susceptible to all this stuff as anybody. You may just feel like you're better off, but technically you're not until you don't have to worry about your bills for the rest of your life. That's what the 1% are. They don't have to worry about paying a bill for the rest of their life. I don't know many people like that. And if you believe you're above doing any of this, I'm telling you, you're wrong. I've seen people who were really, really rich and not be as rich within their lifetime, right? I've known people that have made $10 million and been broke, right? And you see it in NBA, NFL, happens all the time. And most people are not making that kind of money. So if you have a job and pay bills, you could set yourself up by just paying your bills every month to be in a situation where that money grows to a point where you don't have to worry about paying them anymore.